All right, we're on. So in this week's episode, we have a special guest all the way from the seven
Yeah, hey,
seas.
introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up? I used to be the youngest brother. Now I'm like the middle child. Uh, uh, Bemi Fallion. It's nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, the the third brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, technically you're the sandwich, like middle of the sandwich now.
yeah.
But
This is always crazy because sometimes I forget that like I'm not the youngest.
yeah,
yeah, yeah. There's three younger ones now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lost my little brother privilege.
yeah. Those rights have been revoked.
So,
Yeah,
Now, Benny, when did you get the necklace?
I got this while I was in North Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from where?
I was It's like local shop. They were like selling like necklaces and shit. I forgot what it was called, but like you stop by. I thought that shit was like so dope. Like, I need a cop.
The influence from oldest brother to middle brother to youngest.
I know everybody got the pearls.
Everybody got froze.
Everybody had pearls at one point.
yeah. So since Gbemiga is the guest this week, without like spilling any like secrets or whatever from your job, um. Let's start with like, what's the dopest place you've been to so far?
I would say San Diego, but I feel like boy, I give you something crazy.
No, you got to speak up a little
Get
bit, brother.
closer to the microphone, yeah.
So you gotta speak up.
I'll probably say it wasn't like a place, but we're out at sea. I remember there's like right when shit like was dying down, and like when like the water is kind of like flat, and then you're on like a ship, and it's like dark as fuck. Like it kind of looks like really, really beautiful out at sea. Like all you see is like the stars and
Yeah.
everything is just dark. So it was like dope. So
Yeah, I
I
could.
remember a lot of the people who've been on the show a long time. So I'm like, hey, you gotta see it once because like you might not get the chance to see it again. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like the paradox of you have the beauty of the sky, but then you have like the terror of the unknown, of like the darkness of the sea now, right?
Yeah, there's like a wire around and yeah, it was like really dope. I know it's like a lot of the small stuff of like because like, I haven't traveled a lot outside of like the States. So I think about like the cool things I've seen, it's usually either been like on the ship or out at sea.
You didn't say anything cool in Spain.
I saw some cool shit in Spain, um but it's like everyone who lived in Spain has been there forever. So every time I'm like,
Amer
let's go out.
like the Americans that live there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All the Americans that lived on the ship. So every time I tell them like, what's fun? All they can think about is like bars and like strip club. So, they're like they're so done with like Spain that they're like, yeah, we can like go drinking or like
Yeah.
that's it. Like it's crazy. 'Cause every place we travel, like we stopped by Puerto Rico. I remember I was like, hey, like, let's go somewhere. Like, let's go like see something. And all of them were like, yeah, let's go to a bar. Again, yeah. Every time we go out, we always go to a bar. Let's go somewhere else. He was like, I don't know, we've been to Puerto Rico like 5 times. Like all I want to do is drink.
Yeah, one of my boys was telling me because he used to be in the army, and he said that's literally all they did. He was stationed out in Philippines, and he said literally all they did was go to the clubs, talk to the little ladies that are at the bars, the little pay girls that would be like, "You want a drink, honey? You want a drink, honey?" They'll bring them over to the table. They'll just be drinking, drinking, and that's literally all they did all night, every night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It is crazy. Like like you're new, so that everything's cool. But for them, like everything's just so boring. Like even the dopest parts seem like boring to them. So like
I
they just
guess,
like never wanted to do anything interesting.
yeah, like year six, year eight, you're like, yeah, I've done it all. It's like whatever, it's just another day.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe this is a yes or no answer. Um, because let's keep the secrets, the operation secrets out of the internet. But like, did you ever feel like tense or like in danger at some point?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah?
yeah.
Oh man, I don't know if we
Well,
should talk about it, but
I should be fine.
okay.
Give as much detail without incriminating yourself, of
Yeah.
course.
We're out at sea and I remember a ship was fired upon. I think that was like the most tense.
Your ship or another ship?
Our ship.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because it was the middle of the night for me. So I literally just remember waking up and like them be like, hey, like, you gotta head to sonar like right now. I thought they're like fucking around with me because he do shit a lot. So I was like, whatever, nigga. I was like gonna go back to bed. He's like, bro, I'm fucking serious. Like, get out of your fucking rack. And I was like, oh shit, like this is actually tense. I can feel like the ship moving. And like when a ship gets like ready to like kind of like go into like a warfare mode, you can feel everything move because all like the guns and like uh all the guns like next to you, like everything else turns on to like kind of like fight like is like huge and it takes a lot of power and like the
Yeah.
ship starts moving in different ways, so like you can feel it. So yeah, it was definitely like a tense moment, but like I don't know,
Damn.
yeah. And again, man, I was
That,
like
that
nervous, but everyone else was like, "Hey, man, just like smoke a cigarette, you'll be good." I was like, "Oh."
Wait, so like, is it one of those situations where like you generally fear for your life, or is it just a high adrenaline? Okay, let's just do what we got to do to protect ourselves. Like, what is the mindset going into something like that?
I think it was like a mix of both.
Hmm.
Like when they told me, I thought like, "Oh God, am I gonna die?" And then I kind of remember that like for everyone here, like they have the experience of like doing this before. And like we generally like it's gonna sound like super Joe Navy and like kind of stupid, but like we practice so often that like
Okay.
it was kind of like muscle memory. Like I know exactly what to do when I see like weapons just like showing on sonar to the point where I was like, okay, like yeah, I trust that like we'll be able to get out.
Mm.
But then after it was like the adrenaline, like oh my God, like some shit just went down.
Now, do you know the country that shot at you guys? And you don't
Yeah.
have to say who. Just say if their food is good or not.
The food is good. The food is fine.
Their food is good.
Yeah, it's not one of those places
China.
where there's no hot flavors. Yeah, it's very hot there. I'll say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty intense. I didn't know that shit actually went down, would
Yeah.
go down.
Yeah. It's crazy being like the new guy there. Because I feel like I if yeah, I don't know if you've ever like been to like something like new at work and like you don't know any of like the relationships of like the
Yeah,
office.
yeah,
So you just feel like you're kind of like showing up and like you don't know everything. But
right,
like
right.
I feel like that every single day. But instead of like, oh, these two fucked, it's like, oh, by the way, the ship has been like stranded in the middle of the ocean. And it may happen again, just to let you know. Like, yeah, I feel like I don't know. I saw this shit. It's like show 'em new at work is like being the new character in like the fifth season of like a 10 season show. But like it's not like The Office. It's like NCIS. Like, yeah.
Damn. Well, it has to make for very interesting days, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
What's like a real crazy story that you've experienced, whether it be like on the job or just like interacting with people or anything like that. Just like a crazy story where you've gone through where you're just like, wow, that was a crazy experience.
I think I just told you guys this, but I remember. So we have a culinary specialist, CSs in our ship, right?
Mm,
And I don't know why, but like them and like bosun's mates are usually like the most insane motherfuckers on the ship. Like they're just like ready to like fight and die for no reason. I don't. Maybe it's because like it's stress, but like I don't know. But we have like one guy on the ship who's like super tall and kind of like just like really stupid. Like not stupid and like he's dumb, stupid like and he might be like clinically retarded.
mm,
Like and then we have this one short guy who's like watched Mass Society once and now that's his like personality trait. Like super like young, like I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, I used to fight all the time. Like I heard you guys like fight all the time and like Dawson one. Like let me in on that. Like short motherfuckers like ready to like fight all the time.
hmm.
Those two like fucking hate each other, but like
So it's like David and Goliath,
it's like David and
essentially.
Goliath.
Okay.
Yeah. So they get in an argument while they're preparing lunch, right? Um, like the short kid like says some like wild shit to like the tall motherfucker. The tall motherfucker's not having it that. So what he does is he shoves a small motherfucker into one of the freezers, right? And this causes a little kid to like crash the fuck out. He's like yelling, he's angry, he feel like his pride was broken. He's getting crazy. So my friend Balderas tried to stop him, like, hey, calm down, man. Like, it's not that serious. He's not calming down. He grabs one of the knives that they're using to cut like some vegetable. He's like waving the shit around. My friend Balderas is like, hey, man, you gotta calm the fuck down. Like, if anyone sees this shit, you're gonna get in trouble. And he's getting angry, angry, angry. He has a cut in my friend Balderas. Not like super deep, but like enough to like draw blood. And my friend Balderas gets super angry and starts like trying to wrestle the knife away from him. Uh, yeah. And like, the more they wrestle, the angrier he gets until he just starts like, trying to run at the tall, retarded motherfucker. And again, like he's stupid, so he's not really like addressing any of the situation. He's like he's continuing to like cook. Like he's not really like my friend does like, hey, like you gotta get out of here, gotta talk to someone. But he's kind of just standing there, like trying to like finish the rest of the food. Because he doesn't really know like what to do or how to like address the situation where it's just happening. So he's like goes to autopilot, like maybe if I just keep cooking, maybe the situation will stop. Uh and it goes to the point where like, the MAs are called and they kind of have to like get a toss motherfucker to kind of wrestle this dude down. And then they have to um, get some guys with guns to kind of stand in front and make sure he doesn't like do anything and fuck up anything more than he already did. I think that was
You're
one of
just
them.
watching the whole time? You're just like on the background?
Yeah, because I because again, when you have free time, there's not a lot of shit you can see to like entertain yourself. Like I know it's
This
not
is
the
your
first
Netflix.
time. Yeah, this is like edited. Like again, people crash out all the time on the show. Like I think if you stay in a place long enough, like in the middle of the sea, your fuse just gets shorter and shorter and shorter until you're like, if someone like bumps into me, I might kill them. It's like you end up just like watching people like fight or get in arguments or like just like getting ready to pounce on a moment's notice just because like it's like a Saturday and they're stuck on a ship and then like there's nothing else to do.
Mm.
I'm just like watching it. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. This is crazy. Until like the enemies get called up and I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like,
So like what do y'all okay, so you mentioned like being on the ship and being stuck with nothing to do. So like how do you like entertain yourselves? Like what do y'all do to like entertain yourselves from like a day to day?
Can you guys work out there? Is there like a gym or something?
there is, but like we have like free weights.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Um,
can tell, man. Those straps are looking crazy.
Yeah, I know a lot of niggas looking pretty swole these days.
yeah,
Yeah.
You have to gain some weight for sure.
yeah. Honestly, when it comes to like entertainment. I feel you kind of just like have to depend on day to day. Like, because I know there's some motherfuckers who like basically spend all their like daytime just like downloading movies to the point where like when the moment we go underway, they have like 80 fucking movies that are just ready to watch from like the start of the underway to the end of it. Then you have motherfuckers like the BMs. What they like to do is they like to like fight just like constantly, just for fun. Yeah. They go to
Mm.
bone someone where like no one can see them and they start wrestling. And if you're bored enough and you're like, fuck it, you can go up there and like you can watch, but you have to like fight first to watch. So like, if it's like a big motherfucker, you gotta get your ass kicked and then like you get to become like a spectator.
Fight Club type shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Oh, this is actually funny. Um, minor side tangent. There's like a huge ass motherfucker in our ship called Tail Feather. He's like this like boxing, like used to box. He's like 6'3", and he's like genuinely insane. So every time someone goes up there and they get unlucky and they get tail feathers, they kind of just fucked.
Do you know like some of the background of these people, like origin stories, or like how did they do they have nothing to lose? That's why they're like insane, or
I don't know, man. Cause like so you meet like a guy who you think has nothing to lose until you talk to him. You're like, yeah, I got like 3 kids. I'm like,
so they're just crazy for
Just they're just nuts,
just
yeah.
nuts, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you talk to a guy who like, oh man, he must really have nothing to lose. He's like a seaman. He needs to like rank up as quickly as possible. And he'll talk to him like, yeah, I have like 3 kids. Like I'm struggling to pay rent. I'm like, shouldn't you like be working harder than all of us? Like, why are you just like
Wait, how old is he?
he's like fucking like late 20s. He's like 28, 29.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, because when you think about it, like it's kind of a funny phenomenon to get a bunch of young boys to swear their lives to a country they never paid taxes for.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a bit like you kind of expect what you expect whenever you see people in that situation. Like, oh yeah, I'm willing to die for this country. It's like, okay, name all 50 states. It's like name each state you're trying to protect.
Yeah.
So I
That's
think
the
I think that's a good like segue into like how like the amount of discipline that like what yeah like into Lewis' comment like what keeps everything together, like what's the glue that keeps everything together.
I think it's like one of my friends told me this shit in like A school. I thought it was funny, but like I think it's like generally true. I think it was like accidentally true. I think like when like shit sucks so bad that you're like in there together, you kind of just like it starts being funny. Like it starts being like fun to like be in a shitty situation with other people. Like I think we can like attest to this too because we remember our fucking late night talks of being like, man, I fucking hate this house.
yeah, yeah.
Like, man, fuck that. Like that's like what it is like every day on the ship. It's like a bunch of motherfuckers very tired going up to smoke that like either you smoke or you don't, just like talking and being like, fuck, like a bitch ass captain wants us to be out and see like 2 more weeks. This Joe Nate motherfuckers keep yelling at me about shaving, but like, you're laughing. Like I think I think like shitty situations like build like that camaraderie better than like being in port like all the time and
Yeah.
like having access to like friends and family who are like closer to you, you know?
I was gonna ask that. When you step on the ship, do you know how many days you're gonna be on, or it's whatever?
So we have a schedule,
Okay.
but we have a schedule, but you never really know when that's gonna change.
Yeah.
Like what's like it's kind of crazy about the Navy is that like I think you can use a schedule that aren't really like schedules, they're more like roadmaps. So like here's what we hope we can get. Because like any day like our admiral can like talk to us and be like, hey, by the way, I know you're supposed to just pull into like Norfolk to like refuel, but like instead of that, we need you. in like the South China Sea. And like
Damn.
depending on where you are, you gotta be like, yeah, okay. And like even not even like Adam, like even like our CEO was like, hey, I want to see that I want to stop by this port and do this training. Everyone has to like change up like, hey, instead of doing this maintenance and like chilling, now we gotta like not sleep and like we gotta focus on getting this training done so we can get the ship qualified, you know? So like we have like schedules, but I never really focus on a schedule until it's like 2 weeks away.
Right, right.
Because like even then, like shit can like change so quickly. So
Mhm.
yeah. It does teach you to be flexible.
For sure. Um,
Yeah. Okay, that's I mean that's interesting, bro. Okay, so I'm curious, like, okay, because growing up, like even right before you left, you were very kind of just to yourself, didn't like to do much, kind of lazy. It's like chilling.
Yeah.
So like how has the Navy changed you from your character prior to you leaving? Because how would you describe yourself before you left and like now? Like what has been the shifts?
I feel like before I left, a, I was a kid. Like
yeah.
I when shit like fucked, I like always feel like I could like get out of it in a way. And like that kind of like bred like I think because I was like a smart kid, I thought like even when shit's like fucked, even like I don't think I have control, I'm like smart enough to get out of it, right? I think that was very immature. I think now, what changed me is kind of working with people like that. Like you kind of, it's like easy to kind of like succeed, control your life when you feel like you have people around you who can help you. But like when you're all like that, like then like one of you has to step up and be like, okay, like one of us has to like be the guy who says no.
What was there ever a point, maybe at the beginning or any point where you felt lonely, or were you always like encouraged by everyone around?
Um, I don't say feel lonely. I think I've always been like comfortable by myself, but I do think being on a ship forces you to get out of your shell because there's no place to be by yourself. So I think you just end up talking with the people around you. Like even when like you're like eating lunch and just sitting there, like
Yeah.
someone's gonna sit right next to you because like all the seats are filled. And like at that point, kind of just like, well, one of us has to say something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm.
So you just end up like making friends like that. Like I ended up talking to people I didn't think I'd ever interact with just because like one of us like wanted some like fresh air or one of us just like sitting next to each other during like chow.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? I think the pivotal moment where I'm like, oh wow, Megan has definitely matured. It was actually during Chava's and Fala's wedding when we all went out after. And seeing you interact with adults that are like way older than you with more life experience and you just like fit in so perfectly, I'm like, wow, Megan has matured so much. Because I remember when we were younger, you would just been quiet. You wouldn't even say much. Unless like someone said something to you, you would probably interact, but you wouldn't go out of your way to say it. But to see you be like really sociable and like really like kind of take charge in terms of showing who you are as a person, I'm like, wow, Megan has definitely grown a lot in that aspect. And even last
100%.
night. So last night, like context, like we stayed out till 6 in the morning because we're just like, turning up and just seeing him just interact like with my friends, interact with just like the random people of the night. I was just like, damn, Venga is just so grown. Like just to see him just kind of in these environments, just like flourishing, doing his thing. I'm like, this is so sick. So that's how I see it. I just see that from that perspective. Like you definitely like become more intentional with how you like with your interactions and you're more vibrant in that sense.
100%. Yeah, because like for the first 17 years of your life, I thought you were on the spectrum a little bit. Because like I don't think like it's funny because you would say anything. Like you were the type of person to be like, "Oh, like do I look fat in that dress?" Like, yes, very. Like I'm like, damn, you know? You know? And it's funny because like I think like, when it comes to your attitude now, especially when you've had so much life experience, you kind of understand like, okay, I'm gonna say this, and I know the risk behind it because I know what it feels like to feel pain. So this is coming from someone that knows and experiences this. I'm gonna say it with my chest. Right. So it holds more merit versus when a scrawny kid says it. So I at least appreciate you having that same attribute. But I do have one question now. So on your flight to Chicago, was there any part of you was just like, I could escape. I could take a cab and start a new life, or I have to go into this Navy base.
Like the entire time, yeah. Like every time, like the entire stay, I was like, it was like you and a couple of people from like who were going to go to boot camp. So the
Mm.
entire time I was like, I don't want to fucking do this shit. Like I want to leave. I'm at an airport. I could just leave the airport. But like I don't know what kept me going, to be honest with you. I think a part of me was like, oh, if I make it past boot camp, that would be cool. And then I think I don't really want to do it though, but like fuck it. It was kind of just like it was like it was a series of fuck it's until I made it to boot camp. And then I was like, I should have taken that cab. Like fuck this place.
Did something during boot camp break you? Like was there some point where like fuck, like this is this is too much?
There was like a moment where we are getting beat because one of the guys there, he was like, it was like one of these motherfuckers who was like cocky. Like he said some shit
Is he
to
a
an
is
RT,
he a like so one of you or he's like
all of us, like the entire group.
okay,
We're
okay.
getting beat because like something like one of our like, division mates said or did. I don't even remember it. But he wasn't getting beat because he was SIQ. So he had to watch us as like we're like making the room like condensation on the floor, getting beat for an hour. Our partner was like, man, fuck this shit. Like, is this gonna be the rest of my life? Like, where I gotta like deal with all this shit just because some motherfucker said some shit. That almost broke me, I think. I'm, but I
Welcome to
think,
my world.
yeah, I know, that's low key what helped me through it. Like, I remember when I came back and I was like, hey, bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was why. Because I was like, damn, like I can't imagine being like a kid dealing with this shit. Like I see like another grown ass man like fuck you over it. Just not even because of his attention, just because he was kind of like dumb and doesn't know any better. Like pissed me off. And then I was like, damn, imagine like a 14-year-old me doing that shit.
Yeah, because I remember there was this one time where I got off work and I had to pick Gbemiga up from debate at school, and he wasn't there, right? And I was like circling the block, like, where is this kid? He wasn't answering his phone, and again, it was late at night, and the cops stopped me. They're like, "What are you doing outside of high school late at night, driving circles? We saw you driving like 5 times." And I was like, I was waiting for my brother. He put me in handcuffs. It was like, okay, we're just gonna do a little search of your car. And I'm like, this is bullshit, right? And then when Gbemiga finally gets it, I was like, why did you call me? He's like, sorry. I was like, you're sorry.
Like, bro, I was in handcuffs getting frisk. Like, bro, and all you had to do was like send a message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you could have got me out of the cops by just picking up the phone.
You were like, yeah, trust me. He's like
Like
my
you
friend.
just like I'm not making the shit.
No, but it's good though, because like at least in a situation like that where okay, like I'm at least here by some accord of my own, you know that the only thing you have to do is get through it, right? And I think that's a better life lesson to learn when you're younger and it feels like, oh, there's no escape, you know, because at least like, okay, if I don't like it, I can leave, but you stuck through it because like I'm definitely gonna learn some valuable lessons here.
I think seeing people who didn't learn that lesson helped me more. Because like when you're Navy, you kind of meet a lot of people every step of the way. And sometimes you'll meet people who are like, oh, like I can see how your life ended up like this. Like 40, join the Navy now. And like a part of me was like, okay, I don't want to end up like that. Like I don't want to be lost at like age 30, 40. I want to be like at least set by then, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you can see in the personality how they ended up like that. And you can see like even people your age, how like maybe they didn't pick up those lessons you did when you were in boot camp or A school or like starting your career and it like carried on until the like actual job to the point where like, they act like this way now, right? I think like I definitely learned a lot from like the people around me and how they act. Like I think like seeing them, like being a person who always kind of people watched, but now like having to interact with them, I think I'm learning more about like who the person I don't want to be. I think that's changed me a lot.
We had two questions. Can you actually quit whenever you want? And the other question is, so these older people that join, do you feel like most of them like share like a lot of chaos in their lives and they're just looking for structure?
Um, the first question, yeah, you can, but the process is kind of like so you can quit, but if you quit, like you're handicapping yourself because
Yeah.
you have to quit either by telling them like, hey, I'm not mentally able to handle this,
Yeah.
or quit by saying like, hey, like I want like a discharge. Like I want like it's not like dishonorable, I forgot what his name, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
basically a discharge. And either way, when you leave the Navy, it's not like easy because
Yeah.
everyone who sees your job is gonna be like, oh, like you were let go from the military because you're mentally unstable, or oh, you were let go of the military by like having a discharge.
Right, right, right.
Then you have to like explain yourself and like the explanation, like regardless of how hard the Navy is, like looking at like your manager and being like, oh yeah, like nah, I quit the Navy because um there are people there that piss me off so much that like I rather like like it's not gonna be like a good explanation.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a good combo to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the people in the Navy drove me up the wall, but I can self-understand.
What was your second question? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like the older people that join later in life, like, do you think they're like just looking for structure? Like their lives is like all messed up, or what do you
I
think it
think
is?
so. Yeah, I had a roommate in A school who joined when he was like 27, and talking with him, I kind of learned a lot about his life and kind of learned the mindset of someone who would join that time. And he told me like he's like a really smart guy. And he's like really mature. Like even the way like even when we hang out, he teach stuff about like life, like and like how like to maneuver around life, and even how to talk to people. So like I always like wondered like why are you doing this shit now when you could have been doing something else and like have a steady life. And what he told me was like he had these skills. Like he's very funny, charismatic, and knew how to talk to people, knew how to manipulate people. But like instead of doing that to get a good job, he'd do that to like get pussy and like get weed. And I'm like, eventually you do that so often that like you're 27 and like now everyone around you is like, yeah, I'm trying to go on dates, but not just the fuck. I'm trying to get married. Like, and you have to look at yourself and be like, am I really gonna like start talking to like 22-year-olds and like kind of live my life trying to like get jobs like I'll like work at a Lowe's for the rest of my life, like, or am I gonna have to find something else? So that was kind of the switch where you use like that charisma and like natural maturity and like intelligence that you already had, and instead of like wasting it off on just like fucking around to actually use it to actually better his life.
We're running
And
out of time. We're running out of time, but just one more question.
yeah,
Girls that are there, what do you think their main motivation to be there is?
there's a lot of single moms, not always.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's a lot
Like,
of
I'm just trying to put food on my baby table. I'm just trying to
baby
put food
things.
on my baby table.
Even when you don't think it's a single mom, it's a single mom. Like, ooh, like 19, she bad. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that makes
I was
sense.
thinking of my daughter. I'm like, daughter?
Bro.
That makes 100% total sense.
Yeah, how you like 21, have two kids? Like, what's your life like?
Man, everyone got their own story,
Yeah,
man.
everyone got their own story.
It's hard.
Yeah,
To be
there's a lot of single moms or like a lot of
Yeah,
like daughter of like military guy. Like so like they didn't really know what else to do besides join the military.
right.
Yeah.
Any last questions?
No, bro, it was actually really dope having you on here. Kind of switch it up and kind of give your perspective
Yeah.
on, your background and what you do.
Yeah.
Because this guy's elusive as fuck. We never really talked to him that much. So it's cool to like actually be able to converse with him.
Yeah. So man, yeah, let me know. I mean I'll be
Now,
back, you know what I'm saying?
now, I know Navy SEALs is something that's a lot different from where you're in, but has there ever been a consideration to think about joining the SEALs? Have you ever thought about it since being in there?
There was a time, yeah, because I'm in weapons. So when you go out and you talk to people, you're talking to a lot of like either Navy SEALs or Marines. So like I remember I was talking to one guy, it was like after boot camp. I remember him because like he was kind of just walking around asking people like, hey, can you just like give me workouts to do on board? And I'm like, who the fuck is that? He's like, oh, he wants to be a Navy SEAL. Like, oh, it makes sense. That's why he was just talking to like random RDCs, being like, hey, can you beat me for like an hour? Like I have nothing else to do. But yeah, I just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to commit that much time to being a Navy SEAL when the goal of this shit is kind of just get in, do my time, and set myself up for like future opportunities. If I'm gonna be a Navy SEAL, it's gotta be like I love this shit so much
Yeah.
that I want to commit the rest of my life